Hello my friends, and welcome back to our continued blind Let's Play of Ace Attorney Spirited Justice. This is the final case, Turnabout Time Traveler, and we are back in session with Soren telling us the truth. Maybe. I mean, he says the truth, but maybe. We'll see. I hope you all having a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day today. The truth. The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over. Okay, that seems very to the point. Well, this doesn't help me one bit. Mr. Sprocket, you concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence? Huh? That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. He's just an all-the-dot type of person. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear on the entry record. Now, there are no more inconsistencies in the witness's testimony. Arg! That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves loose and dangling. You okay, Nick? I wouldn't exactly call the situation okay. Somehow I'll have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. Well, that's what we do. Let's do it. If I even can, that is. Sometimes you can reveal a lot in cross-examination. The truth. The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. You didn't mention this because you don't want Mr. Nickety to fall under suspicion? Is that because he had something to hide? I just don't want the police to take up this time with all the questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him. I see. Wow, it sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nickety? We met up on my way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my side. He could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor. Mr. Wright, would you like the current statement added to the witness's testimony? I don't see why not. Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. I mean, the more we add, the more we can try to suss out, right? Pierce heard the commotion and came running. Hold it! Did Mr. Nickety come alone? I believe some of his subordinates were with him, but I don't remember exactly how many. You may say there were others, but seeing how they pulled that second reception off, can't completely trust anything he has to say either. I see. So you, Mr. Nickety, and a few others headed to the Vista deck, is that right? That's right. Can't see anything there. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. Hold it! Your name doesn't appear on the hold entry record? Because you entered with Mr. Nickety using his key card? That's right. So I guess the hold entry record doesn't matter as much as we thought. But now that Soren's saying he was with Pierce and a few others, it's pretty tough to refute that statement. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Cat got your tongue? Did you finally realize there's no point in continuing this trial any longer? Of course not. Girl, wipe that smug look off your face. Mr. Sprocket, please continue with your testimony. There's gotta be a way in somehow. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic.
Hold it!
Speaking of injury, how are you doing now? The knife wound is deep and continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared. But one wrong move would have spelled the end for me there. Even so, I've seen it up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises. Mr. Wright, would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to the testimony? Now that it appears especially relevant to me. Should I have? Yeah, like I said, why not? I don't see any reason not to do it. Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to have it added to his testimony. I see, very well. The knife wound. Aha! I found an inconsistency. Because you, sir, were stabbed with a candelabra, which we have your blood on, right here. Alright, the question is, does he know? Did he just assume it was a knife, though? Because maybe he wasn't, like, coherent enough to realize it wasn't a knife. But still, it's an inconsistency, and an inconsistency, nonetheless, is an inconsistency. But I'm gonna play this out first. The knife wound is quite deep. It continues to throb with pain.
Hold it!
Your injury was really that deep? Luckily, it missed my internal organs. Otherwise, I wouldn't be alive right now. According to his doctor, his injury will take about 3 weeks to heal. There is no way someone with that kind of injury could have gone along the outside wall. But he might have been able to with the burst of adrenaline brought on by pain. Adrenaline is that your answer for everything. In a court of law, the only thing that matters is evidence, not rampant speculation. At least admit it's scientific rampant speculation. May I continue? Yes, of course. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over.
Hold it!
So you still insist that you reached the Vista deck after the murder had occurred? Is that correct? Yes, that's right. Ellen must have killed him. There's no other explanation. I guess whether Pierce was with Soren or not doesn't change the outcome. I guess not. In fact, more witnesses actually makes it worse for us. So another cover-up, huh? That Soren has too many secrets. I bet he's still hiding other things too. That's definitely a possibility. But in a situation like this, what we have to do is go back to the basics. You mean go with the testimony to check for any lies or inconsistencies? You got it. All right, Nick, let's go for it. Okay, like I said, I believe I know what to choose here. That one.
Objection!
I didn't click far enough over. Mr. Wright, would you care to tell us court what percent sure you are of your claim? Why, of course, I'm 100, well, or 90, wait, maybe 80-ish? Would you accept 50%? Okay, we got a laugh out of it at least. Mr. Wright, I won't have such half-hearted bluffing in my courtroom. Your Honor. Might I recommend that the defense be penalized with a 100% severity? Oh, I intend to, Mr. Edgeworth. You can be sure of that. And after this trial and the other things that you have lined up, we'll go with the 100-line defense as well. And there's gonna be a lot of despair, I'm sure. Well, and guess I can't say I deserve 0% of that. Yeah, I didn't go far enough. I was pressing right. And, like, for some reason, I hit the right button and I hit, yeah.
Objection!
Okay, we were right on what we need to do at least. Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. A fact I know you're quite aware of. Is his? Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Sorin himself. As you surmised, Master Sorin was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened at the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly the Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Yellen and tried to take her away. Master Sorin went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when the Master Sorin was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Okay, I don't remember this line of dialogue, but I definitely remember that he wasn't stabbed with a knife. So this says he's lying. He's not mistaken.
Objection!
It must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with the case. No, but it's something, and something leads to something else, which could lead to something else, so just have faith. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute. I had to agree, Mr. Wright. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake. But I contend it's an important inconsistency. Besides, I can find anything else. This is the only thing I have to go on. And it's not important. Now let's not waste any time on the matter. I agree. Everybody has a little memory elapse every now and then.
Hold it!
But Your Honor, please let me explain. But you can you? Can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important? Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Sorin himself who told Pierce that he had been stabbed by a candelabra. This is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason for it. Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness slip of tongue is so important. Because it's damaging to my case if it's not true. The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. I see. So why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Wright? Mr. Spock identified the wrong weapon used against him because he misspoke. He's covering for someone he has no memory of. It's gotta be because he's covering for someone. Because he's obviously not misspeaking. Otherwise, like I said, that's damaging to our case. Saying he has no memory is a lie because he does remember. Mr. Sprocket is trying to cover for someone. Yes? And who might that be? Well, Mr. Gloomsbury, maybe?
Objection!
Why would Mr. Sprocket try to cover for the man who stabbed him? And regardless of the weapon, the fact remains that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed the witness. Exactly, Miss Edgeworth. Yeah, sorry, Nick, but I have to agree. I guess that makes sense. Too bad there's no one to cover for you, Mr. Wright. You'll have to accept this penalty all by your lonesome. Really? That's not the right answer? I wouldn't mind having someone to cover for me every once in a while. Oh well, I can't lose heart now. I've gotta just keep on trying. But what do I say now, though? He has no memory. It's not he misspoke. But I don't know. I mean, I thought for sure it was covering for someone. He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. But he said he did. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. What? Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection!
Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out? Your baseless claim is nothing but pure slander of the witness's character. Mr. Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim? Of course, Your Honor. Think of what someone has said and how he's behaved. That's where I'll find a clue. He writes everything down. Very well, let's hear your argument then. My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has a memory disorder is his notebook. He writes everything down. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it. Like a diary, perhaps? No, Your Honor. It's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more of the order of a database, actually. A database, you say? That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. And that's why he writes down every little detail of his life down in the notebook.
Objection!
How could you possibly know that for sure? He must just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so too myself, at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on the notebook yesterday. You mean you got a stain on it? Hey, you're the one who tried to grab it out of my... Never mind, whose fault it was. Just get to the point already. Right, sorry. Mr. Sprocket. The page Miss Fey got a stain on yesterday. That's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? Oh, that's convenient. No, I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now, drop the subject already. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I noticed an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On one of the earlier pages, you used to write down invention ideas. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more and in much more detail. But I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date. Something so monumental caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright? Yeah, his sister dying. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about, and here's the proof. This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder. It's the newspaper. Yes, it's not the picture here. It's the newspaper. March 8th.
Take that!
You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder. Is this true, Mr. Sprocket? Well, is it? Mr. Sprocket! It's true. That accident did something to my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. Oh my gosh. It's almost like 51st Dates. That was a pretty good movie. I thought that was cool. But yeah, it's almost like 51st Dates. And when I wake up, the most recent thing I remember is the day I lost my sister. Oh my god, it's like he's forever... This is torturous though. You wake up every single day reliving the worst day of your life. God, that... Oh. If he killed Gloomsbury, I know why. I mean, it's obvious why he would have. But my God, to wake up every morning with the memory fresh off your brain, with that on your conscience, that's hell. That is... God. And this music is just perfect for this moment. But my God, that is... It's as if I'm constantly going back in time. What? Well, then that's truly tragic. An inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. But you wouldn't understand. So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about himself. The reactions of the people around me each time I woke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write everything down in my notebook so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since that day are the ones written in your notebook. That's right. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings towards the victim? Mr. Sprocket's feelings towards Demon Gloomberry? That's right, Your Honor. The witness said every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died. Well, Mr. Wright, you can't mean... Mr. Sprocket. Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Gloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you awoke, were they not? But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder, isn't that right? What, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that witness murdered Mr. Gloomsbury for revenge? Yeah. Erg. Well, Mr. Sprocket. I... Oh, I was expecting, Nickety. Miss Wyatt. Your Honor. I did it. I killed Mr. Glimsberry. No, you didn't. You're just doing that because you're trying to protect the one you love. No! What? But Miss White, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route. Someone is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead. Ellen, please, try to get a hold of yourself. I guess she really meant it. My Soren didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted. Are we to understand that you're confessing your guilt? No. But now, wait just a minute. Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must have killed him. I'll admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first. But all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness is my happiness, Soren. Aww. I need to find a woman like that. But without my notebook, I'd even forget these feelings of yours by tomorrow. And then I need to be the man who I could say that for her, where her happiness is my happiness. It's gotta work both ways, right? Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You've loved me all this time. The same way you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I've always loved. No disorder could change that. Ellen. Your Honor, there are two things I'd like to correct. Two corrections? What are they? First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word. You can't be serious. So that means Soren never really died to Ellen in the first place, did he, Nick? Ellen really does love Soren with all her heart. But in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Ellen. And what is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket? The truth is, I never felt anger or resentment toward Dumas about my sister. Really? Really? I mean, I still think that the other guy, Nickety, did it because he was in love with someone's sister. And Dumas had her killed, essentially, by him being the one involved. So I still think it's Nickety. But really? To say you never felt anger or resentment towards a person who killed your sister? That's either incredibly noble or just an outright lie. But I don't think he's lying. I think he's serious. I don't think, in his mind, he probably thinks it was just an accident and there's no reason to hate someone for making a mistake, regardless if that mistake cost his sister his life. But I just thought this would be a lot more complicated because he would feel anger. And of course, we know Nickety was in love with his sister. So, you know, that would make an interesting debate between who actually killed Dumas. But now Dumas' killer is obvious. It's Nickety. Because Nickety killed him out of revenge for Soren's sister's death. So, I mean, that just solved the case for me. Because before this, there was always the possibility Soren... that means that Soren's no longer the mastermind here. So what actually did happen then? Because my original theory of someone being the mastermind made a lot of sense in my brain. And there's a reason why Nickety would want Dumas dead. But if someone's not the mastermind, then how did Nickety set all this up? So I know who the killer is. I just don't know how it happened. I know why it happened. I don't know how it happened. I got 2 of the 3 pieces of the puzzle. What? Why not? Well, that's because the one who caused the car accident was me. I thought Dumas caused the car accident. What? So now I'm really confused because why did Nickety kill Dumas instead of Soren? I don't know anymore. I don't know. Order of the court. Please continue, Mr. Sprocket. I'm the one who killed my sister. To protect my career and my future, my father made Dumas take the blame. In exchange for money and the position of lead servant. So it looks like maybe, new theory coming on. Maybe Nickety didn't know this. It's very possible that Nickety never knew of the cover-up. That's possible. In which case, Nickety killed the wrong person. Newspaper article updating the court record. According to a newspaper article, Soren was the one driving. So you see, Dumas must have held a grudge against me, not the other way around. And he must have attacked Ellen to get his revenge on me. Are you sure about all this, Mr. Sprocket? Very sure. It's all written down in detail in my notebook. The notebook is important evidence supplying a background to this case. I must insist you submit it as evidence. You know what I want to know? How many pages is that notebook? Because if he's been writing in that notebook constantly for the last year, wouldn't he need like 15 notebooks by now? A database-like notebook that chronicles the events of each day in minute detail. The lawyer said I had turned to murder, but that's just not true. However, it is true that my older sister and Dumas are both dead because of me and my negligence. I just glanced through Mr. Sprocket's notebook. I wasn't able to read the part about when he was stabbed due to the blood stain. But what's written here about his sister's car accident is exactly as he stated. Your Honor, as long as it matches what's written in that notebook, can we still take the witness's testimony as valid in spite of his memory disorder? Yes, I believe we can. I understand now that the witness's memory is in disarray. But what if Mr. Sprocket himself wrote in this notebook is true? Then that means by the time Mr. Sprocket's party reached the scene, the victim had already been killed. Edgar was right. I'm still in the same bind as before. But should I really simply accept the contents of the notebook as a substitute for someone's memory? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Will you accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories? Will I accept it as official? No. Wait a minute, Your Honor. The defense requests a chance to examine the notebook to see if it's trustworthy. Exactly. I can't just accept it without reading it myself. Very well, but be quick about it. Thank you, Your Honor. So, how should we examine it? Well, we should look for it from all different angles to see if there's anything suspicious. There's no point if I don't look at what's inside. I have to open it. With your permission, Soren, here I go. Yikes! Oh, it's just a page. Maya got all stained. Well, I guess it's not going to be very helpful at this moment. I'll keep going. Why is that torn? This is the last page where there's writing. Something about this page doesn't sit right with me. Better take a closer look. So I want to see if there was anything on the back or anything. Huh? Page has been torn out. And it looks like there was something written on it. It says I something. It looks like a page has been torn out here. Mr. Sprocket, do you know what was written on it? Oh, that. I often tear out the page when I write somebody a note. I probably wrote something down for somebody, tore it out and gave it to them. Is that? No, this doesn't look like a torn page. I don't know. Yeah, how many pages are in that notebook? That notebook defies the law of gravity or physics or whatever. Oh yeah. That solves that then.
Objection!
Wait a minute. We can't ignore the possibility that something important was written on that page. But now that the page has been torn out, how can we determine what was written there? Well... let's see. To find out what was written in the notebook, we should... I don't know what we should do. I don't know how holding it up to light or heating it with a lighter helps. At the same time, I don't know what a fingerprint pattern would tell us. This is just the only... this is the only one that seems less dumb. Because both of these seem dumb. Or at least to me, I don't know what they're trying to get at by holding it up to a light. If we use fingerprint pattern on the notebook, we might be able to see what was written. Doesn't make any sense. Unless, like, the text, like, unless someone else ripped it out of the notebook. I don't understand how either one of these things work. Fingerprint pattern, how would the hell was find out what was written there? Well, if the writing left indentations on the blank page behind it, fingerprint pattern could make those small indentations visible to the naked eye. Oh, stop. Fingerprint pattern would only sully the notebook further. It's alright, if you use the pattern and still don't find anything, then you must accept the notebook as a representation of the witness's memories. Alright, Your Honor, I understand. If I don't find anything, it's all over anyway. Powder, don't fail me now. I will now use fingerprint powder on the blank page to find out if we can see what was written on the torn out page. Does that actually work? Like I said, this is the one that just seemed the less bad of the three, but I don't understand how this would work either. First, I'll apply some fingerprint powder. Yep, find this enough. I'll use triangle to blow. Yep. Something should appear. It's just switch to analyze. L1. Okay, we have stuff. Oh, hello. I struck and killed Dumas. But then there's something up here too. I see it like come off when I press down on it. Dumas took Ellen to the Vista deck. I struck and killed Dumas. It looks like I didn't get quite enough for the fingerprint found on the page. Guess I better dust a little more. What? It says I struck and killed Dumas. So this is huge. Does that actually work? I struck and killed Dumas. That's what was written on the torn out page. What? It can't be. I don't believe it. There has to be some kind of mistake. Someone would never, could never. And she's out. Miss Wyatt. Philip, please get the defendant to the infirmary at once. Apparently the defendant got too worked up. She's resting in the infirmary as we speak. Now then, please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. This notebook is all Mr. Sprocket has to remember things by. With this critical page torn out. Not even Mr. Spock himself knew of what he'd done. I'm the one who killed Dumas. Or someone wrote that in your notebook and then... So it wasn't Ellen. Oh, thank goodness. I was actually happy that he did it rather than her. Huh. Mr. Sprocket, does this mean that you were at the crime scene during the murder after all? I guess I must have been. So his notebook update in the court record. But Mr. Sprocket, can we really believe what's written in this notebook? Nobody touches this notebook but me. And when I sleep, it's under lock and key. I don't remember writing that I killed Dumas, but I guess I must have. Well, well. Now that we have a confession, I'm afraid I must render my verdict. Of all the... Yes, Your Honor. Please give your ruling now, while Ellen is asleep. I want the woman I love to be set free as soon as possible. Someone really does love Ellen after all, doesn't he? Yeah. So this is how it ends. Is that how it really went down? I don't think so. Is there really no way for them both to be happy? I know we should consider anything written in the notebook to be truth, but still. I myself wrote of the crime in the notebook. No further proof is necessary. Someone himself wrote it in the notebook? Wait a minute. Very well. Didn't we give the notebook to Nickety? Could he have added that into the notebook? But then why would he have torn it out?
Very well. I will now give my verdict.
Ellen is about to be found guilty, and Soren will be convicted for the crime instead. And yet, am I really ready for the judge to give a ruling? No, I'm not. No, not when there's still one more avenue left to explore.
The court finds that... Hey, what are you doing?
Your Honor, there's still something that bothers me about that notebook.
Oh, is there?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you had to do is keep quiet, and your client's a free woman. I know, but I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way. A way for Ellen and Soren to both be happy.
What do you mean by more than meets the eye, Mr. Wright?
I believe the question here, Your Honor, should be... why was the incriminated page torn out in the first place?
Why, to destroy the evidence, I would imagine.
But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mr. Sprocket's memory. Which means he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No, if he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it. Just what are you getting at with this line of inquiry, Mr. Wright?
Yes, please explain it so we can all understand.
And the writing was so different from the other writing as well. Yes, Your Honor. The page was torn out of the notebook because somebody else tore it out. The incriminating page was torn out by somebody else.
What?
But why not just leave it in the notebook? Why would you tear it out?
Order in the court. Are you claiming a third person interfered with the notebook?
It's not all that surprising to consider what's happened up until now. And after both the car accident and the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind. But I had my notebook with me at all times. No, there was a time that you didn't have your notebook. Did you? Because I remember you were in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it. That's true.
So, who orchestrated this particular cover-up, Mr. Wright?
If we think back over the course of the trial, it would be pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memories is...
Nicky.
The one who tampered with the notebook in order to manipulate Mrs. Pocket's memory is the only one who had the notebook. Is Pierce Nickety. Pierce tried to tamper with my memories. Pierce was manipulating me because he wanted to make you pay for killing your sister. That's messed up. It's all messed up. Case in point, the two receptions that were held to cover up the murder. It was Mr. Nickety who directed the guests and orchestrated the entire scheme. No, it can't be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, dude. Pretty sure it was. Which of my memories are mine and which have been rewritten? That's a horrible feeling to feel. When did he start rewriting my memories? Who wrote this and this and this? And this and this and this and this? Ugh! Wait, he has got a jetpack? Leaving on a jet plane. He literally took off.
Arr! What?
Didn't see that coming. Look, Nick, he's coming back down. My memories, Ellen. It's a horrible feeling.
Mr. Sprocket. Philip, please get disrespect of the infirmary on the table. Mr. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let's resume where we left off.
Your Honor, the defense would like to call Pierce Dickety to the stand.
Objection!
We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mr. Sprocket. What more do you want from him? This time it's different. The notebook, or rather Mr. Sprocket memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Nickety. Don't tell me, are you actually trying to drum up a third suspect? In order to exonerate the defendant and her groom? I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have grounds to accuse him of anything. Yet. All I know is that Mr. Nickety is the only one who knows the truth. And I think he's still hiding something we don't know about yet. No grounds, is it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution consent to calling the witness to the stand?
It does, Your Honor. However, I would like a little time to talk with the witness before we do.
Very well. We will break for a 20-minute recess.
To be continued. I'm gonna press on just a little bit further. September 23rd. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Number 3. Now we'll have to face Pierce on the stand. I'm not sure if I should be surprised or not. One thing's for sure, he won't be an easy adversary. So, do you think Pierce did it? It's too early to say any point. Yes, he did do it. But I do think he's still hiding something. Nick! Why did you try to pin everything on the sore and loser back there? Looks like Larry still hasn't given up on Ellen. If this Pierce guy is the real bad guy, then Soren and Ellie will live happily ever after. Larry, that's the kind of thing a decent human being says. Shame on you, Larry. Boo-hoo! Hey, you think I don't know? I know I have to give up on my Ellie. But Nick, promise you'll make her happy. She deserves a happily ever after. Oh, I'm sure someone will make her happy once all this is said and done.
The trial is about to resume, Mr. Wright.
All right, you ready, Maya? Yep, let's go. I'll be rooting for you, Nick. Thank you, Larry. September 23rd, District Court number 6.
The court is now back in session. Witness, please take the stand. Please state your name and occupation.
My name is Pias Nikiti. I am the Sprocket family butler. Let's get straight to the point, Mr. Nickety. Someone tried a page from Mr. Sprocket's notebook to manipulate his memories. And that person was you, wasn't it? That is correct. What about it? Well, that was easy. So, why did you do it? Why did you tamper with Mr. Sprocket's notebook? Please allow me to explain. It pains me to do this, but I will tell you the truth. It pains you? That is correct. For my testimony will go against Mr. Surin's wishes. Someone's wishes? What is he talking about? Witness testimony. Why I tore out the page. I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed. I saw Miss Yellen and Gloomsbury collapsed, and Master Surin writing in his notebook. Master Surin said to me, I'll take the blame for the murder, so please take care of Yellen. But I went against his order. I tore the page out of his notebook and hid the body. Wait a second. What Mr. Sprocket was writing in his notebook at the time, could it be? It was meant to be a confession, an admission he'd killed Gloomsbury himself. The handwriting just seems off. He wrote that message to take the blame for Miss Wyatt? That is correct. Master Surin did hit Gloomsbury with the timekeeper to save Miss Yellen. Then Mr. Sprocket was the culprit after all. However, that blow did not kill Gloomsbury. That makes sense. Mr. Sprocket's injury wouldn't allow him to put much force into it. Enraged, Gloomsbury tried to attack Mr. Surin. Viewers are seriously wounded. But just in the nick of time, Miss Yellen hit Gloomsbury from behind. And finished him off, it would seem. So you're the one who the one who inflicted the fatal blow was the defendant? Yes, that is correct. But Mr. Surin tried to take all of the blame onto himself. No way! This is pretty bad, Nick. No kidding. Pretty bad is an understatement. Well, Mr. Wright. It seems your decision to call for Mr. Nickety has backfired. For the true culprit behind this case remains the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. Could this get any worse? But Pierce was involved in the cover-up plot. And I bet he still has something to hide. Well, once again, trying to suss out things is how we roll. Why I tore out the page? I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed.
Hold it!
Wait a minute. I thought you went to the Vista deck with Mr. Sprocket. Actually, that is not true. What? What do you mean it's not true? No idea what the accent was. I have something like caught on my throat. What's that? I found this afterward, but Master Sorin went to this deck alone. He went out the escape hatch in the reception hall and went along the outside wall. What? You can't be serious. You mean Mr. Wright's adopted guess was actually correct? What's with this adulpated? Oh, what is adulpated? What is... I know what adult is. What is adulpated? Describe someone who's confused, muddled, or unable to think clearly. And implies a state of mental disarray or being mixed up. The word can be used to describe someone who is eccentric or strange.
I suppose truth really is stranger than fiction.
So, Mr. Nickety, when you got to the scene, you saw Mr. Gloomsbury, Miss Wyatt, and Mr. Sprocket. Is that right? That is exactly right. I saw Miss Yellen and Gloomsbury collapsed, and Master Sorin writing in his notebook.
Hold it!
So, when you and your group arrived at the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? That is correct. Bloomsbury had already been struck. Miss Yellen had lost consciousness, probably from the shock of the incident. And how did Mr. Sprocket appear? He was bleeding from the stab wound that he received from Gloomsbury. Barely conscious, he was writing something in his notebook. So the mysterious third person Ellen saw really was Soren then. Master Sorin said to me, I'll take the blame for the murder, so please take care of Yellen.
Hold it!
So Mr. Sprocket wrote a note of confession in order to take the blame for Miss Wyatt? Yes. That notebook is the only form of memory that Master Sorin has. So you understand what his action meant, I trust. What did it mean, Nick? To Soren, everything in that notebook is true. So Soren tried to take the blame by altering his own memory to make himself think he did it. No! Master Sorin truly loves Miss Yellen. It must have been love that made him do that. But I went against his order. I tore the page out of his notebook and hid the body.
Hold it!
Mr. Nickety, could you please tell this court about that in more detail? That you say? Which part you mean, Mr. Wright? Could you be more specific? Oh, alright. What part do I want to know more about? I want to know more about both. Start with the top one. Please tell me more about the hiding of the body. Very well. After saying that he would take the blame, Master Sorin passed out. That's when I hid the body. I quickly took the lift down to the hold. With where heat Gloomsberry still one body and the spare peggable lantern. So it was you who hid the body, not the defendant? To seeing that Mr. Boots could move the lantern, putting the body to the reception hall. Well, I did not see that coming. I don't blame you. Even Larry can predict what Larry will do next. Maybe I should take another look at the lantern in evidence.
Mr. Wright, would you like that same ad to court witness testimony?
Sure. Yes, please. I feel like he didn't tear out the page here, though. I feel like he tore out the page when we gave him the notebook. So I don't think the page is relevant here. I think it's relevant later.
Very well. Please have that statement to your testimony, Mr. Nickety.
In the hold, I hear the still warm body and the spa peggable lantern. Was it a peggable or a pegamoo? I don't know. Just says one of the lanterns.
Hold it!
Why did you hide the body in the lantern? As I told you yesterday, it was to make it as though the murder never happened. But thanks to the Mr. Boots, things did not turn out as planned. So holding the second wedding reception wasn't Mr. Sprocket's idea, but yours, wasn't it? It was all for Master Sorin's sake and Sprocket Aviation. If I am accused of a crime for trying to cover up the incident, I shall accept it willingly. He really doesn't seem to even care about himself. So he's talking about the cover-up after the incident, huh? Right. That's information only someone who was actually involved could know. So it might be a really important piece of testimony. I think so too. I really had to tread carefully here. So we're assuming that this is what we need to do. I'm just not exactly sure what we need to do with. I hear the still warm body in the spare peggable lantern. Then why is the peggable lantern broken? This is interesting. If you read this, it says there's a blood stain on the inside wheel handles as someone gripped it with a bloody hand. On the inside wheel handle. That means that Dumas was still alive because he gripped the blood. He tried to open it. So if he put the dead body in the lantern, why is there a handprint here? Or not a, yeah, a handprint. Exactly, a bloody hand.
Objection!
I think I'm onto something. Could it be? Is that what happened? If what I'm thinking is true, then maybe I can prove neither Ellen nor Sorin did the deed. Mr. Dickety, you said the body was still warm when he hit it, correct? So then what if Mr. Gloomsbury was still alive when he went to put his body inside the lantern? What? What? That's preposterous. Is it any more preposterous than a parrot being a witness? Actually, this shows that the victim might have still been alive while inside the lantern.
I'm afraid you'll have to point out which part you're talking about, Mr. Wright.
What's the gear turning thing? This right here shows that the victim might still have been alive inside the lantern. This doohickey.
Take that!
As you can see, the back end of the lantern is a door. And there's blood here on the wheel handle.
Objection!
Yeah, you're gonna say but it's on the outside, and I'm gonna say no, but they've just misplaced it. That blood stain must have gotten there when the witness put the body inside the lantern. And in no way shows that the victim drew his last breath while he was within the lantern. Yep, saw it coming. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth, for you see, in putting this lantern back together, The police inadvertently placed the inside handle on the outside and vice versa. In other words, the wheel handles got swapped.
Oh my, so they got swapped?
Yes, they got swapped. What? But that's ridiculous. Not at all, if you compare the other male peggable lantern in the reception hall. It's quite obvious the wheel handles were attached backwards. The detective in charge of the restoration will see me in my office later. Sorry, Ima. And good luck. But you don't get your pay cut.
In that case, what does the bloodstain on the wheel handle mean?
The bloodstain didn't get there by chance. When the victim was put inside the lantern, he was only unconscious, not dead. When he regained consciousness, he probably tried to get out of the lantern. So he grasped the inner wheel handle, and that's when the blood got on it. This proves that the victim was still alive when he was inside the lantern. At the time, I was completely convinced the victim's body was dead. Had I checked more carefully, he might have survived. Unfortunate to be sure, but not significant enough to change this trial's outcome. Again, I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. It actually has a very significant impact on this case. The victim was struck by the defendant, then died from his injuries sometime later. There's nothing more to it.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong. Let's take another look at Mr. Gloomsbury's autopsy report, shall we? Please focus on the description of his injuries. Cerebral hemorrhage from tongue below the head, one contusion was found on the back of the head, and one was on the side. Blows were caused by the same weapon. It says one contusion was found on the back of the head and one on the side. Yes, the one Mr. Sprocket gave him and the one Miss White delivered to finish him off. No, the defense would like to submit a different interpretation.
A different interpretation?
The victim was knocked unconscious by the first blow and was then put into the lantern.
Then what about the lethal blow by the defendant, what the witness was talked about?
Yes, well, that didn't happen. After some time, when the victim regained consciousness and tried to get out of the lantern, that's when he received the second blow that finished him off.
Taking into account the fact that the victim was alive for a period after the first hit, and I did receive a second blow to the head, does seem entirely possible.
Yes, as long as the first blow didn't kill the victim instantly, then there's a possibility that someone other than Mr. Sprocket or Miss White delivered the fatal blow.
Objection!
That's all you've got? Even if there was a time lag between the two blows, the prosecution's position doesn't change. What? What do you mean? It's elementary, Mr. Wright. After the reception, when the defendant was cleaning up the reception hall, the victim, who was supposed to be dead, suddenly came out of the lantern. The defendant grabbed the murder weapon, which was right there, and finished him off.
That theory sounds awfully familiar.
Of course it does, Your Honor, because it's exactly what I proposed at the very start. The second blow was inflicted by the defendant after all.
I see. Seems a tangle of mysteries has unraveled into a single thread.
Objection!
But as long as there's a possibility that the fatal blow was delivered by a third person, then we must continue the deliberations. Give it up, Mr. Wright. Unless he has something to prove the presence of your precious third person. Okay, Nick, just relax. You can do this. Come on now, take some deep breaths. Good idea. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. There. Don't you feel better already? No, I don't. Maya's right. I should calm down, get my focus back, and go over everything again. And then hopefully I'll be able to find something to prove there was a third person. Let's see. First, why did Gloomsbury attack Ellen? Because he was tired of taking the blame for the accident? Something about that line of reasoning just doesn't feel quite right to me. No, how come? Well, if it's just a personal vendetta, he had already stabbed Soren. So why then was he so determined to go after Ellen? You're right, this whole thing feels too premeditated for crime and passion. That note was written by someone else, right? Because Bloomsbury was left-handed and this was written by a right-handed person. If this was written by a right-handed person and Gloomsbury and I forgot what I was trying to say. But does it say that there's a third person because this was written by someone whose hand doesn't match the people involved? But Gloomsbury didn't seem to have a personal grudge against Ellen. If Gloomsbury didn't have a personal reason to attack Ellen, then... You've taken long enough, Mr. Wright. Now it's time for some action. What proof do you have that a third person was involved? Alright, I'll show you. I'm not completely sure what I'm doing yet, but it looks like I'm out of time. This piece of evidence proves the involvement of a third person. So I'm gonna take a guess. They just showed this note, and we did talk about the difference between hands, so I'm gonna take a guess that this is what I need to show, because they just literally told me to show it.
Take that!
I get it now. Now I see why this note bothered me so much when I first saw it. Thank you, game. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. That note was apparently written by the victim. But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Your Honor, please take a look at this note.
Well, this is the victim's murder plan, right?
It's definitely a murder plan, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury didn't write this note himself?
What?
This is how you intend to conjure up your mysterious third party, Mr. Wright? Can you even prove that note wasn't written by the victim? Yes. Yes, I can.
Very well then. Please present your evidence, Mr. Wright.
This evidence proves the victim didn't write the note. The thing about the hand. What is that? Gloomsbury dominant left hand. This one.
Take that!
This is the weapon Mr. Gloomsbury used to stab Mr. Sprocket. I was wondering what you'd pull out this time. Dare I ask what could possibly have to do with the note? Mr. Gloomsbury's prints were found on this candelabra, and the prints were from his left hand.
So, that makes the victim left-handed, correct?
Exactly, Your Honor. The police looked into it too and confirmed as much. Now, take a look at the smudge writing in this note. Notice how the smudging only starts in the middle of each preceding line. Had this been written by a lefty, the writing would be smudged from the far left end. That means whoever wrote this note was definitely right-handed. In other words, somebody other than the victim wrote this note.
What? But if someone other than Mr. Gloomsbury wrote it, then what does this note mean?
Mr. Gloomsbury followed this note to the letter when he attacked Miss Wyatt. So clearly, this note isn't a murder plan written by Mr. Gloomsbury, but rather, these are instructions to kill Miss Wyatt, issued by somebody else.
Objection!
If it wasn't the victim who wrote these so-called instructions, then who wrote it? Most of the people involved are right-handed, you know. He is correct. The majority of the family and their employees were on this ship are indeed right-handed. I must say that is a very rough and slipshod conjecture that you proposed. I admit I haven't figured out who wrote it just yet. Leave it to Mr. Edgeworth to go for the juggler. is the culprit who ordered Bloomsbury to attack Ellen. What could the motive have been? Yes, I think we fully unraveled this case. We just don't exactly know how everything happened, but I believe I know exactly who did it and why. We know what the motive is. They've been showing that watch nonstop. That watch is in the picture of his sister. I believe, for the first time ever, I may have deduced a case way ahead of time. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and this is our continued blind Let's Play of Spirit of Justice, Turnabout Time Traveler. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that thumbs up to like the video and subscribe. Much love to you all, my dear friends, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazingly awesome day today. And until next time, so long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.